What is up, everybody? I'm No Luck Skippin', and today we're taking a look at a double skip game. I'm playing skip, so I'm already up 2 XP, and I'm going to buy 2 more over the course of this game to be up 4 XP on the rest of the lobby, so pretty sweet one. I'll mention here that I was thinking about locking on to Cinderella plus Genie's Wish. I typically don't lock a skip, and I'm going to not lock here as well. There's just so many good econ characters on 3, namely Ogre Princess, Prized Pig, and even Brave Princess. Being able to grab that early on is super sweet. You also don't really want to be wasting your gold on skip to pick up spells, because those will just slow you down from developing the rest of your board. That said, I am going to lock for Jekyll's Concoction here because this is a spell that will provide us additional econ as these turns go on. So I figured giving Ogre Princess +3/+3 is a pretty good investment, and hopefully we can roll another 2-cost card. And we do. We grab a Sherwood Sure Shot, so I'll be able to pick that up as well to add some additional power to the board. Things would have gotten a little bit awkward if we didn't roll a 2-cost character, but luckily enough we did. I mentioned in the title and thumbnail of this video, I think you can probably see, I think I know what I'm going to do with it, is I am basically level 7 by the end of this game because we get 3 treasures that just really power up our shops that I feel like I'm so much stronger. I'm just seeing so many more options than all of my opponents. So I'm calling that level 7. Maybe you could say level 8 is Excalibur, but I always love those games where just all of your treasures interact with your shops in some way. I've definitely had like the holy grail of shop. Well, I shouldn't say the holy grail of treasures, but the holy grail of shop treasures, I guess probably would include holy grail. That does impact your shop, so maybe it would be like holy grail, Excalibur, and Staff of the Old Toad would just allow you to pick up a bunch of upgraded level 4, 5, and 6 characters. But we're going to have a little bit of a mix of that this time. Not quite all the way there, but still some really fantastic stuff. And it's a pretty good game for us, though. We do have our fair share of awkward combats. We're not getting too many slays in with the Ogre Princess, which is a little bit annoying, but we locked in this turn for Prized Pig plus a second Stag, and just trying to figure out where to go from here. And I'm also trying to play around another Ring of Meteors. We are playing against Cursed King, so maybe they'll feel obligated to cast one of those Ring of Meteors, but that is why I'm not supporting all of my Sherwood Sure Shots here. But it's definitely been awkward because you want to attack with Stags, obviously, and then you also want to attack with Ogre Princess, and you want to attack with your ranged characters. So it's been a little bit tough to make all of this fit on the board. But for this combat, we've got a really big Ogre Princess, and that's going to be enough to get a slay and allow our Prized Pig to survive. And we get a really, really great roll off the Ogre Princess there. Definitely cannot sell that short, but picking up a Lightning Dragon, just picking up any tier 4 character is lucky. And the fact that we grabbed a Lightning Dragon is really good with this board because we can throw a Lightning Dragon in slot 1, and then we can have our Stag attack in slot 2, and that is really, really nice for us. So we're going to pick up a Fancy Pants, another shop treasure here, and then I'm going to lock onto a Turkish Delight. I feel like it's pretty powerful already. I actually locked the shop initially because I wasn't sure if I would be purchasing the Stag this turn, but I do wind up picking it up, and then I'm going to lock onto the Turkish Delight, and I think this is just a good enough shop. We're going to be able to pick up Sporko, that'll be our 7th character, and then we can pick up Turkish Delight, and the math just works out perfectly for that. Now, speaking of Ring of Meteors, that did not work out perfectly. That was definitely really awkward. We are going to get 2 slays there with Ogre Princess, so that part is cute, and we actually grab a Sporko for free. So now I'm thinking, okay, well, we have the Sporko, let's grab Lady of the Lake, and we can throw the Fancy Pants on it, and then I'm even thinking beyond that, do I want another Sporko? And I could sell off this whole bench to be able to afford some more stuff. But ultimately, I think that this is just the best play. Let's pick up the XP. Let's pick up the 10-7 Friendly Spirit after we pump it up with the Sporko. And I think we're doing pretty okay. Now, what is awkward is those Lightning Dragons attack, and that means it's more likely for your stag to get attacked into, though that combat worked out nicely for us. And then we get to just have a really large Sporko empowered by my stag attack, and that's enough to win the fight. So at 17 health, despite losing a bunch of combats, we just beat the lobby leader. We're in 5th place right now. Now we're going to jump up to 4th place after gaining some health off the end. That's our 2nd XP that we're up in. Next turn will be level 6. So I'm just going to pick up a Cupid. I'm pretty happy about that. And then we also get to pick up a Lightning Dragon here. I do like the Friendly Spirit, though we already used our Fancy Pants buff for the turn. Not going to lock on 5.2. So I'll just pick up the Lightning Dragon, grab Gloves of Thieving, and move some things around so that way we can backline this prized pig and still play 7 characters. It's a little bit awkward trying to fit everything onto this board, but now that we've combined our Lightning Dragons, it's a little bit less awkward because it's now the Lightning Dragon in 1, Stag in 2, which is like a classic combo here. So definitely happy to be able to put this one together. Looks quite strong. In fact, Stag Attack's going to be really nice for us. And then I think Cupid might be able to clean up a lot of this. My opponent does have 1 backline ranged character, but we are going to be able to get it done eventually here with our backline ranged characters. And we just beat the 3rd place player in this lobby. And now we're 6.0. 4 XP up, we're in 4th place, so we ain't too shabby either. We've also got Gloves of Thieving though. I will say Gloves of Thieving a little bit awkward on skip, and especially double skip when you're up 4 XP, because my opponents just aren't going to have the characters that I really want to steal, but it's still fun. We'll give it a shot. I wind up True Love's Kissing, which isn't something that I typically do when I'm already level 6, but that gives me a Burning Beard, which is definitely some nice direction. I think that when you are up this much XP, there is definitely, you want to play trees. You want to just buy all the trees that you can and lean into that. I am very strongly considering locking here though for Oni Tyrant and Boom Hilda. We do have the Friendly Spirit, but ultimately I am going to roll off that and just look for trees. I think not super exciting, but it's just the right play. And that's what you should be looking for when you are up this much XP. Ogre Princess, gonna get the slay, and we're gonna get the kill onto Phoenix Angel. So really, really great sequence of events here for us. Now we get to pick up a Hercules, and that'll be at 32 power. And I believe this is a little bit awkward in this game, that this Hercules is just like barely behind. You want to get it to 34, so that way it can activate in just 3 hits, but there's no real way to do it. And I'm not gonna stress out about it. There's nothing we can do. I'm gonna sell off 3 things so that way I can pick up another tree, but I'm also considering selling off 2 more things so that way we can pick up a Kidnap. And despite maybe not needing to kidnap against this particular opponent and making ourselves weaker in doing so, Kidnap when you have Gloves of Thieving, it's just too sweet to pass up. So we're gonna steal something. Maybe we steal one of my opponent's backline characters. That's kind of cool because we've got the Lightning Dragon there. Now, not really going to work out super well for us, but we are still quite strong because of our Echo Wood and Burning Beard. The Friendly Spirit landed onto that Burning Beard, which was definitely super clutch for us. And because we moved around the Sporko, our Hercules is now a little bit off of completing, so that's awkward, but we do have some interesting options here. We get to pick up Ashwood Elm, and then I'm looking for treasure map. We're going to pick up a tier 3 treasure and look for the map. Not going to find it, so Yeah, I don't think I'm going to pick up anything from here. I think it's just better to skip, grab the 2 gold. I will say that the Wicked Witch we can actually play. Kind of silly, but it will give some additional stats to both of our trees here. If we put Hercules on the Sporko, it goes up to 32, so it is still just a little bit, just a wee bit short of activating Hercules in 2 hits, which is kind of unfortunate. So because of that, I'm going to throw Tweedle. I always forget Tweedle's name now that the art has been changed, but I'm going to throw Tweedle onto the Sporko buff. And then we see my opponent has Eye of Ares. Totally forgot about that one. So I should have kept Hercules in front of the Sporko, would have activated in 2 there. Now, didn't get to activate anyways, so not a big deal, but let's finish it off. Let's Merlin's test on the Hercules, bring it up to 36, and that way we can get her done this turn. I'm going to throw in the Lightning Dragon, I think, as my final unit, and then I buy a Golden Chicken. Forgot about the Fancy Pants. It's so easy to mess that one up, but I do indeed forget and mess that one up there. And then I'm thinking, what if we True Love's Kiss the Hercules next turn? That's something interesting. Is it worth locking onto, wasting the 2 gold? That I don't know. So I do wind up just rolling, but I'll definitely keep my eye out for Shard of the Ice Queen as things approach in the next few turns. But I don't know. This is still like a pretty good start. We have not lost health since we hit level 6. And we haven't gotten that much stronger, so I think some of the lobby is going to start to catch up with us, but we've only gained health. We're at 21 now, and overall feeling pretty good, I have to say. Unfortunately, Lightning Dragon, kind of a Namba with Gloves of Thieving. If you're not looking for backline characters, if you're looking for things like Baba Yaga and River Wish Mermaid, then Lightning Dragon, Gloves of Thieving can be really good. But in this instance, we are not going to be able to steal any trees, which is a little bit awkward, but we do have some nice things in the shop. First off, we get to pick up Embiggening Stone. Secondly, we get to Shard of the Ice Queen, our Hercules. Now, unfortunately, that does not give us a tree. It just winds up giving us a Doom Breath, which we've already passed by so many Doom Breaths this game, but what can you do? We will sell off our Greedy to pick up Lancelot, because that plus Sporko can immediately give us a tier 5 treasure for free, so I'm going to go for that one as well. That's how we'll get that Staff of the Old Toad. And I should mention, we picked up Embiggening Stone. Like I said, we haven't really grabbed that much for the board so far. So picking up an Embiggening Stone, like, we still have a lot of characters to buy, and as you can see, it's kind of already paid for itself with the fact that it's allowed us to activate this Lancelot super easily. I'm going to pick up a Green Knight after that. It's a Green Knight with +10/+10, so it's a decent amount of stats, and it's a tree, so I think it's going to work out pretty well for us. But the thing that I'm excited about here, oh yeah, I meant to bring this up in this game, because we had the Gloves of Thieving. So where are we at right here? We're at 49 minutes into this video. So let me rewind here, because we hit level 6. We pick up the Gloves of Thieving on 5.2. And then on level 6, we immediately see... It was just there. Well, we'll roll back into it in a second. We immediately see a Doom Breath. And this is something that I meant to bring up in this video. That's right, there's 2 Doom Breaths on this first turn. I thought so. How cool would it be if Doom Breath actually worked with Gloves of Thieving? If you could grab a Doom Breath and then if it killed 3 things all at the same time, you got all 3 of those things. Maybe that's totally broken, but I love just like those silly interactions like that. It would be really fun if that could work. Maybe I will leave that feedback to some developers, though. I have a feeling people are going to reject that idea, but let me know in the comments below if you think that would be a fun one. I think it would be a little bit wacky, a little bit powerful, but that's also why we play Storybook Brawl, right? Okay, let's jump back into the action. 48 minutes just about, so... we should have been right about here. Oh no, we saw this one. Okay. So apologies for that. Yeah, here's where we were. Great. We are right back into it. So how great would it be if I had stolen both of my opponent's characters in that backline there? Just something fun to think about. But yeah, let me know what you would think. And like I said, here's where we're going to pick up the Staff of the Old Toad. While this Gloves of Thieving is cute, it hasn't really done too much for us. So I think I'm going to ultimately wind up tossing the gloves. There's still a lot of stuff you can do with Big Book of Spells in the end game, including finding knighthoods, finding scam spells like pigomorphs, and even just lucky coins that allow you to roll a little bit farther. I would have cast that Kidnap if we still had the Gloves of Thieving, but without it, I'm just not as excited to pick it up. I am somewhat tempted to Dream at some point. Excuse me, I think I've got a sneeze. But I think I'll be okay. I'm not going to go for it ultimately just to spend the rest of my gold rolling. We did see a knighthood in that last shot, by the way, but we still had a little bit of extra gold left over, so I figured I would do some rolling instead. But this is what I'm calling level 7. The characters in our shop have +10/+10. We're only seeing level 4, 5, and 6 characters, and we see an additional spell in that bonus slot. So pretty cool stuff there, I thought, to count that all as some neat synergies. We are going to lose to Trophy Hunter. We take 8 damage down to 3, but now we get to play up against the Ghost. So now we've got some reprieve, and we've got some trees to purchase here. So this is all really sweet. I even think about, like, okay, we could buy the Good Boy and flip it with Shard of the Ice Queen. That's kind of cute. But what if we just flipped our Green Knight? Because we do already have a level 6 evil, or a level 6 good character that we can make evil. So let's do that. And then I'll pick up some more trees after that. We're going to pick up a Burning Beard and Ashwood Elm, and just look for some more copies of each. Pretty straightforward stuff. Let's jump into the fight because we're up against the Ghost. You know what? If we miss the first 2 seconds, that's fine. Ooh, they got a pumpkin comp. Okay, so they could actually potentially scam us, but they don't have any relevant treasures. So it's just about avoiding these Rotten Applewoods with my Echo Woods. We are going to attack into one, but we also have the pumpkin now. I didn't talk about that too much. I don't love the pumpkin, but I don't hate the pumpkin either, especially in trees comps. You just frontline a bunch of level 6 evil trees, you backline a pumpkin. It works out reasonably well for you. And then we are going to pick up a knighthood, and I'm just going to throw that onto Ashwood Elm so we can skip ahead yet again. I feel like I'm saying skip a whole bunch in this video, but that adds a bunch of stats to the board to grab an upgraded Ashwood Elm, everything. And I put it on the Ashwood Elm that also had +10/+10 from the Embiggening Stone. So we can see our burning trees are up to like the, 150s for their health, and our Echo Woods rather are up to about 200 health. So still like just a reasonably sized board. It's nothing super crazy, but definitely quite powerful. And then we see some interesting options here. We see another Ashwood Elm, but we also see a knighthood. And I think the economy works out the best for us if we just sell off our bench and knighthood our backline Ashwood Elm. And this is a little bit tricky because I don't even know if I want another Ashwood Elm for next turn, but ultimately I am going to lock onto it here. And you'll also notice that I changed around the position of my board a little bit. I am backlining 2 of my evil characters. So certainly we're making our pumpkin a little bit worse here, but we're playing up against Trophy Hunter. So I want to make sure that my characters in the front line have as much health as possible, so that way my opponent isn't going to be able to slay against us. We've got 73, what's 73 times 2? It's about 150 that we are going to give to both Burning Beards. So that's going to put them both to about 180, and the Echo Woods to 300. So some pretty good boards. That's going to be enough to deny my opponent any slays and get the kill onto Trophy Hunter. And I believe, okay, no. I thought, sorry, I'm getting it confused with another game. I thought that might have been it, that the Potion Master had lost to the Ghost, but we are indeed going to get one more combat. I think I make a mistake this turn, actually, now that I remember, because I think that maybe we should have used the Drink Me potion here. I wound up blocking because it's double Echo Wood. We could, like, what are the chances that this game's actually going to go another turn, though? But if it does, if we tie, we can pick up double Echo Wood, which gives us another tier 6 treasure. We'll toss the Embiggening Stone for like Phoenix Feather, and then our board is like a lot stronger, so it's definitely tempting to just lock onto this one here, but I probably should have just used the Drink Me potion instead of I just wind up picking up the River Wish Mermaid just to put our econ into something for the turn, but yeah, a little bit awkward. And the other awkward thing is I can't just buy an Echo Wood. I could have like sold 2 things just to pick up an Echo Wood, but if I do that, then I'm like playing down 2 units. So yeah, that would have been pretty terrible for us as well. My opponent's going to double Pigomorph us. They've got Wand of Wording plus Pigomorph, but they hit our 2 weakest units, and the rest of our units are way too big for my opponent to take out here in the front line. So yeah, because of those pigs, they did get through some of our, they got through our whole back line really, but our front line was way too big for them. And yeah, just a really sweet game overall, I thought. Basically level 7, I'd say, by the end of it. And that's it. So thank you guys very much for watching. I'm No Legs Given. Peace.